Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be She Cheated on Me, but now suggests an open relationship. Well, I got 3 different emails I'm going to go through with you today, and there is definitely a high incidence of Captain Save-A-Ho in these 3 emails. So we got cheating happening. We got another guy that accidentally knocked up his friends with benefits. So it's Monday. It's one of those days where you're like, you may be struggling. Maybe you had a rough weekend or a rough week last week. And you're thinking, man, my life's a mess. And then you listen to these emails. You're like, hey, I'm actually feeling pretty good about my life. Things are going pretty well. And that's one of the good things about going through all these emails is that no matter how bad you think you got it in life, there's always somebody that's got a more difficult situation. So you should be grateful for where you're at. Even these guys, there are dudes out there that got situations way worse than theirs. So let's go through the first guy's email. He says, "Hi Corey, I recently broke up with my girlfriend of about a year. Within the first couple of months of the relationship, she cheated on me with multiple guys. Multiple. And I stupidly took her back afterwards thinking I was Captain Save-A-Ho." You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. So if somebody's cheating on you multiple times with multiple dudes, they don't respect you, they don't value loyalty and monogamy. It doesn't matter what they say. Oh, I'm going to change. It's like, whatever. Maybe she'll change, but that can be some other guy's problem. He said, "I never really trusted her after that, but I still tried to make the relationship work. Towards the end of the relationship, it was revealed that she cheated with an additional 2 guys. 5 guys total. 5 for the price of 1. Jeez. She definitely belongs to the streets. So I finally ended things and said that I never want to see or hear from her again. The following day, she reached out and said that she felt terrible. Yeah, she feels terrible that she got discovered. And she was crying the whole day and that she's going to change. Sure, I totally believe her this time. He's never trusted her, never believed anything that came out of her mouth, but I think she means it this time. I said I wasn't interested, and then she asked if we could still stay in contact and see each other from time to time. So he says, oh, I'm proposing a friends with benefits. So my question is, do I block her and move on with my life, or do I use her as a friends with benefits until I find someone better? Well, you can use her as a friends with benefits, but keep in mind, I would be, especially somebody that's cheating on you like this, you don't know who she's been with. So every time you hook up with her, you're literally risking getting a disease of some kind. Or slipping one past the goalie. In other words, knocking her up. So if you're looking for loyalty, monogamy, exclusivity, a healthy, normal relationship, definitely ain't going to be with her. That's the reality. But if you're a glutton for punishment and you're a masochist and you want to torture yourself, just wait until we get to the next email. And so the next email is a guy that was kind of in your situation, and he accidentally slipped one past the goalie. So fast forward potentially where you're at, and let's go. This is Bob from Belgium, actually. So let's fast forward. Let's say you keep hooking up with her, and let's see what happens. So he says, "Dear Coach," this is the second email now. "My name is Bob. I'm 27 years old, from Belgium originally. I've been following your work for about 8 years, and I've read the book 10 times. I'm in a bit of a pickle. I'll try to keep it short. I had a friend with benefits." Remember, this is what the first guy's thinking about doing. Because it really matters, the integrity level. If you're going to keep a friend with benefits, what happens if you slip one past the goalie and she doesn't want to get rid of it? What if she wants to keep it? "I had a friend with benefits that ended up becoming pregnant." Well, hopefully it was yours. As far as you know. Well, actually, maybe not. That's why paternity tests are a good idea. Because you never can tell. It's always trust but verify, as Ronald Reagan said. He said, "The thing is, I was never planning to be in a long-term relationship with her." This happens to a lot of dudes. Especially some of them ballers. Hook up with those girls. They throw the condom in the garbage can. She retrieves it. Oops, slip one past the goalie. Accidentally. "I've caught her lying multiple times, and she has many red flags, such as lying, and she monkey branched to me from her ex." So she cheated on the ex with you, I assume? threatening to not let me see the child, not even telling the child I am the father if I ever leave her. Well, that sounds like lots of fun. So she's thinking I'll lock him down by lying to him. Hey, how's that first guy? Are you watching this? What are you thinking so far? How are you liking it's like this is like fast forwarding into the future, almost like having a time machine. What if? So we know we got a liar. We know we got a cheater. So the first two girls belong to the streets, definitely. And she's already threatened them. Oh, you're not going to be able to see the kid, but you got to pay me. I've been struggling for many months on how I should proceed since I want to break up. Well, you should break up with her and then get a paternity test to make sure it's actually yours. Because we know she's a liar and a cheater. She cheated on, she monkey branched from the ex to you, so I assume that meant she was probably still with the ex, or at least he thought she was still with him. The thing is that the child's innocent and I feel immensely responsible. Well, that's because that's what good men do. They take care of their children. He says, but you got to deal with her. The child has to have a loving mother, correct, and a loving father. I agree. But if the mother is a woman that belongs to the streets, it's going to be dicey. But the thought of staying with her is killing me. I wouldn't stay with her, dude. That's because your child needs a good example. If you're going to co-parent, well, actually, you kind of don't really have a choice at this point. Assuming the kid is yours, if you're going to have to co-parent with her, the best thing you can do is provide a good example. So if you know you don't want to be with her and you stay with the kid, you're going to be miserable. You're going to make her miserable. You'll both be miserable together. And guess what? You'll make your child miserable. And then your child will grow up and get into another miserable relationship. Probably the same kind of thing you did, because that's the example you set. Kids are going to follow what you do, not what you say. Even though you think, oh, we'll stay together and we'll help our child avoid the mistakes we made. No, the kid will go out and do the same thing because you never transcended it. That's why if you know you don't want to be with her, then you should go find somebody you do want to be with and build a healthy relationship with her. And as you're co-parenting your child with a woman who belongs to the streets, your child, especially as they get older, is going to be able to see the good, healthy example and the right way to do things versus the wrong way that more than likely the mother is going to continue to provide. So the best thing you can do for you and your child is to not be in a relationship with this woman and go find somebody to have a good relationship with so you can be a good example. He said, I put it in my mind that I should stay with her until at least 3 months after the birth to be there during the most difficult time and then go live somewhere close by so I can be in my daughter's life as much as possible. Well, like I said, she's already pregnant. It's not like you're going to get her pregnant again. Might as well enjoy the friends with benefits. I wouldn't continue to be with her, but I understand. She's got a kid, your kid, hopefully, as far as you know. But that's basically where you're at. But, if you're thinking long term, what you really need to do is provide the child a great example. Just irrespective of what the mother does. On to the next. Email number 3. Let's see what's behind door number 3, ladies and gentlemen, today. It says, hey, Coach, I got into your How to Be a 3% Man, this sweet book with this bald, shaved head dude here. He says, I'm currently in my 4th read. I still got a ways to go. I've been dating a girl for 2 years now. She lives 2 hours away from me and has 2 young children. She got some trophies from another relationship. We stay, and I'm sure I'll get roasted over it. People will be hating on me. Oh, I can't believe you refer to him like that. Oh, it's so horrible, Corey. We stay in touch on a regular basis, and she and I have made it a point to get together every weekend when she doesn't have her kids, and her custody order doesn't allow the kids to spend overnights with a romantic non-relative. Those are always fun, too. He says, I support her financially while she is pursuing a degree in nursing. Well, the punchline's not here yet. He's paying her bills, basically, for a woman that lives 2 hours away and who has 2 kids with another man. And the kids aren't even allowed to spend the night. Does that sound like something you want to get involved in? Whew. About 3 months ago, but wait, there's more to help you make your decision up. About 3 months ago, I caught her cheating on me. What is she actually bringing to the table? She's not loyal. And you're paying for her bills? Why? Why, man? When I confronted her, she bawled like a baby and profusely told me how sorry she was. She's sorry she got caught. That's all that is. You're paying her bills and she cheats on you. I mean, what a dummy. She can't be too bright. He says, I was devastated, but after we talked about it in person, I told her I was willing to work through it and give her a second chance to cheat on you again? You're paying her bills. She lives 2 hours away. She can't even stay the weekend when she's got the kids. So it's kind of like a glorified friends of benefits. It's like, what's the upside for you, dude? We already know. So if you stay with her, you're giving her permission to do it to you again because there's no consequences. A woman like this should learn the harsh reality. If you cheat on the boyfriend that lives 2 hours away and is paying for all your bills and you're a single mom with 2 kids from another guy and you're not even allowed to have any guys stay over, if you become her boyfriend, you can't even stay over at her house because they're not family. In other words, they're not married. Whew. Man, the things dudes do for a little piece of box. Must be some good pussy. Things appeared to go back to normal, but the open and freeing trust in the relationship has admittedly become suspect. She ain't trustworthy, dude. You did all this for her. You're willing to help co-parent her kids from another relationship when you're around her, and you're supporting her financially, and she cheats on you, and you're like, oh, I'll give her a second chance, sure. I'll give her another chance to do it to me again. The last 6 weeks or so, she's been, just wait. This email is just kind of getting warmed up. The last 6 weeks or so, she's been showing signs of complete disinterest. She used to text me good morning every morning, touch base or call to talk. I'd call her at least once or twice a week. Now she's become distant, taking forever to respond to my texts, and the last couple of weeks not responding at all on a few occasions. He says, and I've been mirroring her texts. Well, if she's not responding, that tells me you're texting her and she's not replying, and then you're texting her again. So you're not even following what the book teaches. It doesn't sound like you modified your behavior at all. So she's basically, it sounds like you've trained her to believe that you're basically a chump and a doormat, and she can walk all over you, cheat on you, whatever, and you'll just put up with it. Must be some good pussy. I've become suspicious she's seeing another guy or guys. Well, yeah, she cheated on you. Why would she stop? You're 2 hours away. She can easily have another dude come over and beat up her pelvis when you're not in town and then feign how upset, and all she really doesn't want to lose is your money. That's what she really doesn't want to lose. This past weekend, she brought the kids to my city on Sunday, and we took the kids to a bounce house to play and all went to dinner afterward. I got her and the kids a nice hotel room. That was so generous of you. The next day, we went ice skating and had a late lunch. The whole time, though, I noticed she just wasn't there, i.e., she wasn't physically present, her mind was miles away, and honestly, I felt like a stranger to her. Hey, you should match and mirror that. Again, you're investing and you're completely, I don't know how you think you're matching and mirroring her actions. This woman's treating you like a chump, and you're like begging her to do it again as quickly as possible. After lunch, she left with the kids to drive back home. After they and their bellies were full, she went back home, and Chad Thundercock, whoever the guy she's actually been having sex with, comes over and beats up her pelvis. Blows out his barrels in your girl. Shoots one in the cum catcher. The night after she got home, I called her to talk about my observations. When I kissed her before she left, I felt like I was kissing a total stranger. Well, that's indicative of how she feels about you. What is this woman doing for you, dude? Seriously, it just sounds like she comes and spends your money and you get a little kiss from, it's like kissing a blow-up doll, apparently. She doesn't even kiss back. As I dug deeper, she said, this relationship isn't realistic. We hardly see each other and live so far away from each other. It's like her attitude's like she's doing you a favor. It's like, really? You're doing me a favor, sweetheart? No sex, hardly. And you got 2 kids from another dude, and I'm supporting you financially? For what? I told her I'd come to her house this weekend and hang out and have fun, but she didn't seem receptive to that. So again, you're just completely ignoring the fact she doesn't even want you around. And you're like trying to force yourself into her life. How about you read the book 10 to 15 times and actually do what it says instead of the opposite? That would be really helpful for you. I then told her that her reasons sounded more like excuses than complaints. Well, it's kind of all the above. During our conversation, she asked my thoughts about an open relationship. I told her no. Well, you're kind of already in an open relationship, whether you want to admit it or not, dude. She's sleeping with other guys. And judging by how she treats you, it's like, oh, you think you can do better than me, sweetheart? Then you should definitely go and do better. I told her no and asked if that's what she wanted. I detected a hesitation before she answered, maybe, but no, I don't want that. I'm too selfish and don't want to share. She wants to share herself with other men, but she doesn't want you sharing yourself with other women. He says, I wasn't convinced, but ended the conversation with a good night and have sweet dreams. She said she'd call me the next morning after she dropped the kids off at school, but didn't. I didn't call her or text her. Good. I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't call her or text this girl for any reason. I would even ask to see her again until she brings it up next. And she's like, oh, let's have an open. I was like, hey, you know what? Open relationship. You're right. You are 2 hours away. And what am I getting out of this? Except you give me a hard time. And on top of that, you're not even loyal and faithful. This woman ain't going to be loyal to you anytime, dude. Come on. Have some self-respect. Jeez. 2 days ago, she texted me asking if I was willing to revisit the open relationship discussion. Well, newsflash, bro. You're already in an open relationship, whether you wanted to be in one or not. She's not being loyal to you, and it's obvious she has no intentions of it. But she sure likes the money. I text her back saying, there's nothing to talk about. I don't take second place to anyone, and that's not the kind of relationship I want with a woman, especially you. If you want to maintain and have a monogamous relationship, newsflash, she's not capable of that. And her actions show that she has no intention of honoring that. With a loving, caring, loyal, and honest man, let me know. If not, please don't bother calling or texting me ever again. She texted back, you could have just said no. That's boring. I replied, what's boring? Tell me what's on your mind. She texted back, like I said, you could have just said no. So what do I do now? As I text her back, I honestly don't know. The consequences of your decision are something you have to figure out on your own. I've gone silent, and so has she. Granted, it's only been about 72 hours now, and my heart and soul are currently in anguish in the pit of my stomach, but I'm wondering if I handled it correctly. Well, dude, I'd be blocking her number and never speak to her again. She's not going to be loyal and faithful to you, plus she's 2 hours away, and she's got kids with another man. It's like... He says, should I have gone straight into no contact? And should I stay there? Yeah, permanently. Block her numbers. Or should I have called her to discuss it with her to find out why she's feeling the way she's feeling and opened her up? I mean, seriously, bro. Come on. It's like you're trying to turn a hoe into a housewife who ain't even loyal to you. He says, I do love her with all my heart, but her text about an open relationship was so disrespectful. I am pissed. Yeah, bro. That's nuts. So remember this. I support her financially while she's pursuing a degree in nursing. So this is probably a guy with more money than common sense. Wow. Just wow. That's just awful. So no matter where you are in the world, you could have been this guy. And so to the guy that wrote the email, it's like, seriously, dude, have some self-respect. Come on. She ain't going to be loyal to you. I'd cut her off financially. I wouldn't pay her bills. It's like, what are you getting out of it? And she's cheating on you. If it was me, I'd be blocking that number and I would never speak to her again. And you're delusional to think that you're going to have a healthy relationship with her. Plus, she's 2 hours away. There's an ex involved. The only way you could be together on a more frequent basis is if you move to her. And it's like, you shouldn't even be entertaining that unless you wanted to live in her city. But on top of that, she's not even being loyal and faithful to you. It's like, what do you think's going to change? If you treat her right, if you actually follow what's in the book, she might fall in love with you and be exclusive, but as soon as you slip up, she's going to be getting a side sausage from Chad Thundercock. That's just the way she is. It's like, if you're looking for loyalty and monogamy, I know just because you're loyal and faithful, you being a good guy has no effect on how she's going to treat you. She's just not loyal. There's nothing you can do about it. That's just the way it is. You just have to accept reality instead of projecting your fantasy onto this woman and expecting things to change. So if you got a question or a challenge and you'd like to get my help, go to understandingrelationships.com, click the products tab at the top of your screen, and book a coaching session with yours truly. Until next time, I will talk to you soon.